Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Tammy, well, Gary and Tammy will be here. Gary and Tammy here from Crystal Vision Pools, hashtag Cvpoolpros, with yet another CV Pool School video. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. We wanted to do this live. If you read the description, we have proof that some of the things that we have been saying that the other pool companies are doing and not doing. We have proof of this. Tammy's going to read from one of the websites so that you guys can understand, and this is pretty much across the board what these pool companies are doing. We're going to read it from one, but we've read a lot of most of the websites, and they're all basically doing the same shit. You would be amazed at what's not included in some of these services that these guys are offering. The other thing you'd be amazed of is how difficult and confusing these packages are to understand. That's why we don't do any of this shit. We don't do the packages. We don't do any of that. We're opening your pool or we're closing your pool, and we do everything. So I'm gonna turn this over to Tammy and let her do her thing.
We have
Pay close attention.
see now here's one thing that coming from the office end and keeping track of everything, why a lot of these companies do packages. Because to me, when you have a shitload of customers, I don't want to have to keep track on who has this one, who has that one, because it becomes a pain in the ass. So this one here.
No, we're not going to use names.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to use names, and I'm not going to throw out prices.
But I can tell you that all of the pool companies, all of their websites, we don't even have a website anymore. We don't need one. Ours is all Facebook. But their websites are all basically the same thing. They all have the same information. And when Tammy tells you some of this stuff, you're going to be amazed at. I'll let you guys figure it out. But this is basically across the board so far with all of them except us.
So we have different packages, and each one contains whatever. We've got the ultimate, we've got standards, and then we got the economy. Okay, so then we have, like, if you go for the highest tier.
And this is weird. They're charging tell them how they're charging this, because they're not doing this monthly the way we do it.
Yeah, no. These here are, you're paying up front
for the season.
Is
the way it looks.
Now, yeah. Now, we have had in the past, and actually we have one this year that paid for the season up until October.
And you can do that. We will do that. That's not a problem.
Right.
But wait till you hear what's not included and what is included in this. Nothing in comparison to what we do.
So we have, when I get through all these, I'm going to point something out. For if you want to get the top notch,
this company's
you get
ultimate,
a certain amount of cleanings, water testing.
Well, tell them how many cleanings.
Okay. We get 16 cleanings, the water testing.
And it doesn't say what kind of water testing either.
Now,
ours is computerized.
This one here will be important later on. Okay, so now we're paying up front for this. Addition of our pool and spa chemical line. You get the pool opening, you get the pool closing. They will clean the filter, the filter one time during this whole 16 cleanings. They will clean it one time at the end of the season. So now, what if you have a cartridge or DE and you need to backwash?
Well, the backwash, you're
Well,
not
you
taking it apart.
backwash, but they're not taking. What
But if you have a cartridge, you can't backwash.
if you have backwash, but there's times when, okay, you backwashed enough, now you need to actually clean the grids out.
Yeah, they're gonna charge you to take them apart.
2 winter services, a discount on service calls, but you still pay the dispatch fee. You get certain percentage off of additional cleanings that are regularly whatever amount. You also get a certain percentage off additional filter and winter services. Also, a certain amount each time. Okay, then we go down to the lesser tier.
Now, she is pretty much reading this
Yeah.
off the website. This is how confusing this actually is. Like, she's almost reading this word for word.
Okay, for the middle tier, you get water testing.
And they still don't say how they're testing the water. Ours is computerized.
Addition to the pool and spa chemical line. Okay, again, that part will be important later on because I was confused as well. You get a certain percent off of chemicals, 12 cleanings, and a certain percent discount on additional cleanings. Then we go down to the bottom of the line where you only get,
And I'm going to point some shit out when she's done it that they're leaving out of this.
you only get water testing, the pool and spa chemicals, and 10% off of chemicals. Now, the bottom tier, you don't even get any kind of vacuuming, no nothing. Now, in any of these, and wait, hold on, because I'm going to answer my own question. So then they go on to say what the cleanings include. Okay. What they do with the water testing. Now, here's where I did like a what? Now, you heard me talk about in the packages addition of our pool and spa chemical line, right? Okay, that's included in
the first 2.
No, all of them.
Oh.
Okay. But now here, down by the water chemistry, please note that chemicals are not included in the maintenance package and will be charged separately. But above,
she's reading that right off the website.
Above, we state in with all 3 tiers, you get addition of our certain brand pool and spa chemical line, and then each one gives you a certain percent off of chemicals, except for no, they all give a certain percent off of chemicals.
But then it says chemicals are not included.
So now I'm kind of confused. Are the chemicals included or are they not included? Because clearly it says it's included, but down below in water, when they're talking about the water chemistry testing, please note chemicals are not included. However,
oh, you know what? Wait a minute. I think I know what they're saying.
Note that the chemicals are not included
when
in
they're
the maintenance.
just doing a water test, maybe it's not included.
No. This is, they're telling you service details.
Oh.
And they're telling you what's involved in cleaning, what they do for the water chemistry. The
Interesting.
chemistry test will be conducted by our maintenance team, and then they add the appropriate chemicals to balance your water.
Very confusing.
However, if you have a maintenance contract, you will receive a discount on all chemicals purchased, which all 3 of the packages give you a discount off the chemicals. But I don't know about anybody else, but was that a little confusing as to they're added in to these packages, but now they're saying they're not. So now, which is it?
Okay, that's your services.
And then for the pool...
Now, please keep in mind, nowhere in there did you hear empty skimmer baskets, empty pump baskets, check the cleaner and empty the bag, or empty whatever.
Wait. No, that's under what the cleaning involves.
Oh, okay. So they do have it. Okay.
They do have that.
Okay.
They do have
it.
they don't have it in here.
Which they should, but okay.
Now,
I sit corrected.
Under when they say about the cleanings, but then down below under the details is where they tell you.
They added an extra that they should. Whatever. That's fine. Whatever.
Now, for openings, they only remove the cover, they fold it up and bag it, install ladders and handrails, start the pump, start the filter and the heater, if you have a heater. Nothing else.
No chems?
No chems.
Whoa.
No chems. No backing. Now, they have, which means when they say additional services offered and may be required, that's when it starts going cha-ching, because they're adding shit on.
Now they're adding.
And now they're adding on.
Remember when we said add-ons?
Price.
This is your add-ons.
Backing is one of the add-ons.
We include that. That's included in our total price.
If they have to use any kind of a flotation device, such as like a little boat.
Oh yeah, check this out.
They're charging you
for that little device to float around to do.
Which we have one. It just happens to be a drink raft.
That doesn't matter, but we don't have to use it very often.
We had to use one already.
But
actually 3 times.
They're charging you to use that. That's insane. Never heard of that.
Now, here's a really dumb one. Now, we used to have a customer that had 2 covers. One was for the spa itself, because it was off to the side.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
The spa was raised up.
It was a raised spa.
Right. And one for the pool.
It was a pain in the ass, too.
So now we're charging to remove 2 covers.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they were doing. Is that what they're doing?
Removal of 2 covers is under additional services.
Wow.
So never mind. Let's just take off the covers because we're there. Why do we need to charge extra for another one? No fucking clue. There's a bunch of other things in there. Closings. Again, they don't back. That's an additional charge. It's also an extra charge if you have more than 1 cover. Stupid. They will remove ladders and handrails, lowering the water level.
Oh, wow, they actually do that.
Now, here's the dumb thing. Why not back
to lower
the water level?
That's what we do. It's exactly what we do. That's how we lower the water level.
Because the problem here is if you got dirt on the bottom, and we talked about this before, There was a customer of ours that had the owner of the company said, "There's no need for us to vac. It's dirty. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
the
get
pool
that in
company
the
she had
spring."
before us.
Well, guess what? It stained the bottom of her pool.
Bad.
So while you're there waiting,
Vac the
just
pool.
vac it.
You're lowering the
You're
water
not
in
just
the vacuum.
standing there twiddling your thumbs waiting for the water to go. One person can vac while the other person does who knows what else.
Yeah, it's called vacuuming the waste. We have our own waste pump that we do it with.
They do blow the lines. They plug the lines, winterize everything, and install the cover. Nothing about adding chemicals.
That blows my mind.
Nothing. Nowhere, not for the openings, not for the closings, does it say that they put in any chemicals.
Which is
not even
scary.
Under the additional services.
That's scary. They had to have missed it. I can't see them not putting chemicals in an opening. Just look at she's reading it right off the website. So what do you believe?
Look at the one that
I know.
Said they put in chemicals and all.
Yeah, I know.
They said they put in chlorine and all they put in was 2 bottles of 1 quart of each, and probably one was algicide, the other one was probably metal out. Now no, because that one does make sense.
So,
and they do have a filter service and a winter service, which we have, but
here's kind of what we're getting at. Okay, you got to be vigilant.
We're not making this shit up when we talk about these things.
We're not making this shit up, guys.
Right off of a website.
This is right off of one of the pool companies around here's website, and we are seeing this a lot on these websites. It's not just them. We just brought this one up because we were looking at it actually yesterday when her and I went to go buy our sneakers and stuff. We were out on the town a little bit, and we were sitting down to dinner, and she brought up the website, and she's reading this, and we're both going, what the fuck? You guys have got to realize that not all these other pool companies do things the way we do them. They don't do them complete. I mean, there's the proof right there. She read it right off their that's their website.
As a customer, I don't want to have to sit there and go, okay, this is the package that I got. I got to make sure, I got to keep track on the cleanings, and I got to make sure I'm getting what I'm paying for. Like,
cover, no cover.
It gets too confusing.
Do I want this? Do I want this? Do I want to do this? Why not just do the fucking opening and do the fucking closing? You're there.
Just do everything that you normally would do at a cleaning.
And again, this is why we don't do packages. We open your pool, we close your pool, we clean your pool.
And now here's something else that is not even on here. There are some companies that, let's say you pay up front, like these packages. Now, if at any time you're not satisfied with their service, are they going to charge you a fee, or are they going to do the right thing and say, okay,
we're actually have one of them dealing with that right now.
Got services up to this point. The remaining of your package is, I don't know,
whatever,
$500. We'll give that back.
And we actually have a customer right now, that pool in Lebanon that we just,
and they don't state that
we just fixed. He is going through that right now with the other company, because when they came out the day before we were there originally to look at the clog, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't vac. They couldn't figure out why it wasn't getting any suction. They couldn't figure out the leak, what they charge them 3 times to try to fix on the heater that they couldn't figure out that they caused. And he's going through that right now with them. So you got to understand, when we tell you stuff, guys, we're telling you this for you to know this information, because this is happening everywhere. And it's not just little companies. We're talking big nationwide companies are doing stupid shit now in pools. It is crazy. And some of the prices these people are asking are ridiculous. Like more than double what we're getting. They're getting it. And as a matter of fact, the one company, I'm not going to tell you the company name, but I'll tell you what. That guy that we said, that the guy up in Lebanon, is using a company. What are they charging him what are they charging him a month for bi-weekly service?
$600 a month.
$600 a month for
and then chemicals.
Plus chemicals.
And then chemicals are extra.
$600 a month, bi-weekly, plus chemicals. Our services are $130 a visit, plus chemicals. See where we're going with this? Now, granted, your chemicals are going to fluctuate. They are. You might get a $600 bill in a month, but it's going to be chemical. It's going to be because of chemical
and
usage.
How many services?
But very rarely are you getting $600 a month bill. Some
plus
of them are
chemicals.
Right, not plus chemicals. That would be with chemicals. It's crazy what some of these companies are getting. Guys, you got to be vigilant out there, man. Ask these companies what the hell they're doing for the money that you're paying. Please. All right, I'm telling you. And I'm going to tell you another thing. They have not been cleaning his filters. Because when we pulled those filters out, those filters were supposedly cleaned 2 weeks before, we were told. They were cleaned 2 weeks before we were there. When we pulled those filters out, there's no fucking way those filters have been cleaned in 2 months. There's no way. Yeah, no way. No. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they haven't been cleaning them for closings. Because they were shot. They were as dark as my black socks. Literally, they looked like my hat. They were nasty, and they had slime all over. It
was like a bluish green.
It was like almost like people were wearing suntan lotion, and they hadn't been cleaned. So they can tell you whatever they want. Are they doing it? You guys have got to start finding out and double checking these companies. If you think you have an issue with your service company, and you want to find out the truth, hit us up. We'll come out and take a look at it for you. I mean, there's a charge, but we're going to come out and we're going to assess the entire situation. You're going to know, because we're not holding any punches. Okay? Because we're not the company that's not doing it. We know what to look for. We were not even there for the leak, nor were we there to even look at his filters, at his cartridge filter. We weren't there for that. We were there to blow a line out because he told us he thought something was clogged. When we blew the line out, there was nothing clogged.
Yeah, and I'm like, process of elimination, we had to go back to the system.
Through process of elimination, exactly right. We had to go through, and she's the one that said, let's pop this tank. We popped the tank. As soon as we got that lid off, we both went, ugh, there's your problem. Took them out, and they wouldn't even clean. They were stained beyond belief. I hosed them down. They didn't look any different. And the guy saw it, and he goes, oh my God. I said, dude, these are supposed to be white. So he put the new ones in, problem solved. Went the next morning, fixed the leak. That thing's been apparently running beautiful. They had people there all this weekend. There was people checked in Friday at 3 p.m. Have heard nothing from them, which means everything's going well. The point of the matter is, guys, you got to start checking up on what these companies are doing and or not doing.
And when they have...
that you're supposed to be getting.
When they have listed on their website about additional services, ask.
Yeah.
Say, well, how much is this? How much is that?
Very good point.
So you can get the ballpark on what it is your service is going to be, whether it's opening, closing, cleanings.
We've heard of a company charging upwards of $150 to clean the grids.
Yep.
Or the cartridge filter. Really? $150? Come on. That's a little excessive. And that's for closings. Imagine what they're going to charge you during the spring. I mean, during the summer. I mean, it may be $150 every time they do it. But for closings, we clean them. That's part of the closing.
We clean them for cleanings too.
Yeah, we've taken them out, and there's a problem. We'll take it apart and clean it.
Now, if you're bi-weekly and you're away and you want us to come out there to do solely that, you're going to get charged for however long we're there. But that's the exception to the rule. If you're bi-weekly and you need an extra cleaning, that is an extra charge. Our
We tell
services,
you.
right, and our services are not all inclusive. You don't get free repairs all summer long, free site visits all year long. All that is extra. Services are services. If we are there to do a repair,
All the companies do that.
the
All of them.
repair is separate, the time is separate.
But some of the things that these companies are leaving out is ridiculous. And we are seeing it. And this is not the first pool we've seen it on. It's every single one of them so far this year that we have been out to that has had a problem has been 9 times out of 10, another company couldn't figure something out and couldn't figure out how to fix it or get it clean or whatever the case was. A lot of it is other company. None of the ones that we have been out to have been the customer couldn't figure it out. None of them this year. Every one of them have been another pool company has been messing with it for a month, 2 months, 2.5 months, and couldn't figure it out. Couldn't get it clear, couldn't figure out a repair, how to get something working, and we would go out and we would get it figured out. That's what we're hearing all summer long. That's what we've heard and seen and fixed. Guys, please make sure you're looking into what these companies are doing and not doing and ask them what's included in their packages. Be vigilant because there's a lot of companies out there that are not doing the full jobs. Again, we're seeing it and we're hearing it.
And seeing it.
I just said that. We're seeing it and hearing it.
Yeah, we're not making any of this shit up.
Yeah,
I wish we could sit
were.
there and say we are.
I wish we could say we're kidding.
Not.
We're not.
We're not.
I hate to say it, but we're not. It's gotten that bad. And that's one of the reasons why we keep getting busier and busier and busier. People are figuring it out, starting to find out. Like this guy from Lebanon. Had we not gone out there and fixed the problem, guess what? If he hadn't found us on Facebook, he actually said, I am so glad I found you guys. If he hadn't found us on Facebook, his pool would not be running this weekend. He would have had to cancel this weekend. And he probably would have lost a very substantial amount of money. Like thousands of dollars. Well, no, not probably. He would have. He told us how much that was worth. I'm not going to disclose that, but he told us how thousands. Let's put it that way.
It already had to be rescheduled.
And he had already lost. And what happened was, because the other pool company was supposed to fix it, here's the fucked up part. This would have pissed me off. He told the customers he had to cancel. I think it was 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. Had to cancel. The pool company was supposed to come out and fix it. He told them, because the pool company was coming out to fix it, he told everybody, okay, we're good. Well, guess what? The pool company couldn't fix it. So he had to tell them it was canceled again. And a bunch of them wanted the pool. So they canceled. They pulled their money. Well, then we came out, we actually fixed it, and he said, we're on again, and one of them booked right away. Twice he had to cancel because of the other company, because they were supposed to fix it and they couldn't. They flat out told him after 3 times of being out to try to fix the heater that they screwed up. It was their plumb job. The line was like this instead of straight. Seriously. It was like that. So it had a crack under the fitting here because when they tightened it, it tried to pull down, but it was pulling up, so it cracked it. It cracked the fitting. We found it. Well, he actually found it. I told him to take it apart because I was there. I could look at it. So he took it apart, and he's like, there's a crack right here. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there is. That's not the first time I've seen that. We just fixed one of them not that long ago, a crack like that. It wasn't in a heater. It was actually on a salt cell because the salt cell was like this on one side, but we fixed it. So we knew what we needed to do. We got the parts. I went up the next day, and I fixed it. It's been running beautiful all weekend, and it was crystal clear when they checked in on Friday at 3. Crystal clear, because we were up there Friday morning to vac it. Please be vigilant. Ask questions. Please. I think you guys are going to be very, very horrifically surprised at what you're going to hear is extra and how much it is. I'm telling you. Openings and closings too. Make sure you ask what's included. Because if they're not vacuuming you or they're not cleaning your grids when they're closing you, big, big, big big, big, huge, colossal mistake. Big mistake. It should be vacked, and whatever filter you have should be cleaned. If it's DE, needs to be cleaned with a hose. If it's a cartridge, should be taken out, cleaned with a hose, just like DE. If it's sand, you should be backwashing that sand until there's crystal clear water coming out of there. Plain and simple.
We had a customer like 2 years ago, maybe even 3, and we went to go. We were there for a regular service, and the pool company prior. This was a DE filter. When we got there, he was unhappy with the people that he had, which is why we were there.
I don't remember. I don't know what
They
she's talking
could not figure out why he kept on getting algae. Well, we had somebody working with us, and we go back to the system. Gary tried getting the top off. Top didn't come off. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Now I know who she's talking about.
It took 3.
BL.
It took 3 of us to get the top of the filter off. And when we took it off, the DE
was the shape of the filter.
Was the shape of the filter.
Because they had that much in it.
All around.
They had that much in it.
So the whole time they were servicing him, they kept on putting DE in after DE after DE.
And I don't think they were backwashing it for more than a couple seconds, if at all.
Yeah.
They just kept adding DE. That's the worst one I've seen.
Like, the DE was all around the grids, and it looked like the shape of the filter top.
It was so caked on. Yeah,
and
crazy.
Then, after we got all them cleaned off, as a matter of fact, we got them cleaned off the best that we could. We ordered him new ones.
Yeah, he needed new grids. They were shot.
But we got them as clean as we could, put them in, and we actually put in the our pill that we use, and all the algae around his wall that refused to come off with any kind of scrub brush, even a steel wire brush would not come off. We put the pill in, and guess what? We went back the next week. All that algae was gone. Gone. Wouldn't have even known that there was algae there. So, I mean, it's very important to clean off cartridges and grids and backwashing sand filters when you have a lot of people in the pool, a lot of suntan lotion in the pool.
Hi, Tammy.
Perfumes. Tammy, what is up? Very, very important. And all that stuff should be cleaned at closing.
Never, ever, ever leave a filter dirty.
And
especially over the winter.
And the pool companies should never take your grids.
Yeah. Now, we have a set of grids. Oh, you know what? Let's go through this real quick. We have a set of grids now. You know what? We'll save that for another one.
Yeah.
But anyway, make sure you guys are looking into whatever pool company you're using, especially a service company. Make sure you're looking into whatever pool service company you're using and ask them questions about what's included in their services. Guys, there's pool companies out there that are telling you that, you know, they're going to give you, and this is happening a lot, they're going to give you, starting at, if their price says for opening or closing, starting at, ask questions.
Yeah. Tammy is one of our customers, by the way.
Yes, Tammy is one of our customers. Got a
call from your girl Pam yesterday. She had a question, and she called us. She's like, I'm Tammy's friend. I said, I know exactly who you are.
Tammy fixed her right up. But here's the thing, okay? If they say starting at $100, $200, which I don't think any of them are 200. There's one that's $199. Starting at. That is what you want to watch for. If it says starting at, chances are It's not the size of the pool that matters.
Find out what all is included. Find out what the extra
Chances
charges are.
that is going to be packages. And the packages have different things that are included. And then if you want to add, guess what? That's when they start adding shit. We don't do that. We're one price for openings, one price for openings and closings for in grounds, one price for opening closings for above grounds. Closings are a little bit more. Closings are about $50 to $75 more. There's a reason for that. Because closings take a little longer. We have to lower the water level. On in grounds, we have to blow the lines out. There's things we have to do. Okay, but waiting for the water to come down is part of the closing. That's why it's a little bit more expensive for a closing than it is for an opening. So if you see an extra 50 to 150, I'm going to say 50 to 75 usually. Some of them might charge an extra $100 for the closing, but if you see a charge of $50 to $100 extra for a closing, understand that in the pool industry that is warranted. That is normal because it takes longer to do a closing than it does to do an opening. You have to wait for the water to go down. You have to take all the handrails and everything off while the water's going. There's extra stuff you have to do. Okay, bringing the water down does take time, so that's why that is. But what we're doing in that process, we're back in the pool while we're that's how we're bringing the water level down.
We want nice, clean pools when we close them.
Correct, and we have a lot of winter blue services this year. We have 8 of them so far, and I think there's going to be at least 1 or 2 more.
Lot more.
There's going to be at least 1 or 2 more. One of them, I think, she talked to yesterday. The winter blue service is to keep you blue and clear all winter long to then open a crystal clear pool. That's the point of the winter blue service. Most of our pools, actually really all of our pools now, do open up clear, even if we don't service them. But that's a guaranteed that it will open up crystal blue.
There's some that don't put a cover on.
Right, there's some that don't put a cover on. There's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And there was 2 of them. 3 of them last year. There's 4 this year. Yeah. Sorry. No, there's 3 this year. There was 3 last year.
So far,
we gained 1, and another one's doing it themselves.
So far, all of them are above grounds that aren't putting covers on, except for 1 is in ground, but that's because they closed really early and they open really late.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you have that is either you're going to have a really expensive closing for extra chemicals, or you're going to have a really expensive opening
because of chemicals.
So we're trying to avoid that.
Our winter blue service is we are open year round. Please understand that. We are open year round. You can always get a hold of us by text, email, or by phone. Our phone does not shut off. And we have winter repair services, too, that are going on. We have a lot of winter repairs lined up. We have probably 7 or 8 winter repairs lined up. And some of them are big. We have one very large job coming up. It's huge. Like new filter system, closing, the whole 9 yards. All right. But again, please keep in mind that you got to pay attention to what these companies are charging you for and what is add-ons. Add-ons is anything that's not included. Okay? And I'm telling you, she just read it off of a website. Most of the other companies are like that. That's how they do it. They add shit on. All right?
Oh, shit.
So make sure you guys are looking at and checking your contracts, see what's included. Ask them. Call them and ask them if the contract. Some of those contracts that I've seen over the years are confusing as hell. And I mean confusing. If you get this, then you don't need this. If you don't get this, then it's this price. If you get this, then it's this price. Minus this, then it's this price. Like, what the fuck? Open the pool, close the pool, clean the pool. Done. Like, what the fuck?
They make it a lot more confusing and harder than what it needs to be.
And then they have to keep track of all that shit in the office, which I don't understand why you would want to do that. But whatever. Anyway, that's all we really wanted to go over. Just wanted to make you guys understand and show you guys the proof of what we're talking about with add-ons and what's not included. And that they charge extra for different shit. There's another pool company that she actually, there's 2 or 3 other pool companies that she has looked up that actually, they now took their prices off their websites, which I think is funny. They took their prices off their websites. One of them was charging an extra $150 to clean the grids at closing. Was not included. Charging an extra $150 to clean the grids. Like, what the fuck? I just don't get that. And some companies will take the grids without you knowing. And if you look on your bill, you're getting charged for cleaning and storage. Watch it. We've seen it
That
happen
happened to
before.
one of our customers.
Yes, we've seen
We
it
were like,
happen.
why is there no pressure in the tank?
No, there was pressure in the tank. There was no, everything was blowing right through.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Yeah,
And
everything was blowing. Everything she was vacuuming was coming right back. And we're like, what the fuck? We opened up tank, no grids. We're like, you have no grids in here. Are they in there?
She had no idea they took them.
Nope.
And a lot of them take them thinking, that's one way to get us back.
You to come back.
Into your backyard.
Because it's going to be too awkward for you to call them if you use another company and ask for your grids back. They think.
We wound up having to get her new grids.
Yeah, because she didn't want to deal with it. So, guys, make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're being vigilant and paying attention. We don't do any of that. But we just want to let you guys know. We want the truth out there. We want the truth out there because you guys need to know. You have a right to know. All right? A pool is not cheap to begin with. Having to add stupid shit just because these companies want to be assholes or want to be shifty, shady, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's not right. And I'm going to shed light on it because we see it all the time now. This year has been very, very bad. The filter thing, believe it or not, they've been taking for a long time. They've actually been doing that for several years because I know a couple companies that do it. Most of the companies ask, but some of them don't. Some of them just take them. All right? All right, guys, that's all we got for tonight.
Tammy, thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching.
Chat with you soon.
And
I got to get you an actual date.
Please, everybody, understand that we are here to help. 610-780-3614 is our number. And our email.
No. Did I give you a date?
No, she said, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I
our
gave
email
her a date
address is cvpoolpros@gmail.com. Hit us up. All right, we will take care of you. Hun. No date.
Okay.
All right, guys.
But between you and a couple other ones, I couldn't remember.
We're gonna get rocking and rolling.
Everybody
have an awesome night. Be safe. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.